All right, folks, good Wednesday morning. Welcome to your weekly options brief. Going to be a quick one. Good weekly options should be about 30 minutes. And I got to get ready for our 1 o'clock brief where I'm going to talk about some lifetime, talk about the hunters, and then also talk about a little bit about Costa Rica and Awaken Your Soul. There's the link to register for 1 o'clock. If you can't attend, I will send out a replay. Got my Basi shirt on, right? Basi means truth in Boidi. So Basi is the masculine version of truth, and then Yao Yao is the female. So I got my Basi shirt on. Okay. Admin items. No, not too much on admin. Real quick, it is pretty on the political front. It is pretty stark to see what's going on in this country. Train derailments all over the place, murder, shoot. I mean, just going to hell in a handbasket. And, it is insane to see Joe Biden in Ukraine just sprinkling money, all sorts of shit. And of course, you heard about the air raid siren, right? Air raid siren went off when Zelensky and Biden were walking. It was planned. They like did it for effect, right? That came out in the media, and then the media buried it real quick. Like, oh, he's so brave. It's like, oh no, well, we just did that for show. Right? Because air raid siren, two presidents, nobody's running, nobody's going to a bomb shelter. Oh, it was for show. Oh, okay. So brave. Anyway, I'm done with Trump. Can't stand the guy anymore. I'm over it. But the fact that, a former president is heading up to Ohio to check out what's going on as Biden's in people are starting to fade. And it's interesting, the more, quote, regular people are starting to fade on Ukraine because they can look out their own windows and go, how about a little help at home? It's horrible what's going on. The more they dig in, the more Democrat, isn't it? So whenever Republicans start a war or do something, they're frothing at the mouth, peaceniks. Democrats start a war, or supporting a war, you're anti-American, you're a traitor, you're a terrorist, you're a Russian agent if you're not supporting this. Oh, okay. I got it. Eli Bowiti, Biwiti. The Bowiti are indigenous folks who live in Gabon. So the medicine of the Bowiti is Iboga. So that's where our director of medicine operations went. She was initiated into a tribe. The folks that took care of us at Awaken Your Soul have been initiated into a tribe. There's a couple tribes. So yeah, we'll talk about that. Yeah. So Bowiti. Okay. So I just think it's pretty stark to see what's going on. We talked about this yesterday, but again, nobody in our news is really paying attention to this. This is why you're here. We brief on these things because we are one breaking news story away from war in the Middle East, and then everybody on CNBC being like, "Oh my God, nobody saw this coming." Right? Israel really doesn't give a shit anymore about the United States. They care about their own survival. Shocker. Wasn't it funny? Whatever meeting all the world leaders were at, maybe it was a G20 or something like that, or a G7, where Macron left early because there were riots in his country, and Donald Trump's like, oh, wow, imagine that, a president putting his country first. Who would have thunk it? But anyway, years ago, I was earlier on the Iran thing. Well, I wasn't early. They were attacking. Israel's been attacking Iran this whole time. It's just the stages of the attack, whether they're quiet or internet or, killing scientists. The day is rapidly approaching. So there's only two choices, folks, when we talk about Iran, Israel. Absolute peace, shaking hands, Jimmy Carter in the Rose Garden with Arafat, and it just went out of my head. But anyway, or absolute devastating war. Isn't that fucked up? I want that to sink in because, again, I sit here with my whiteboard and I flow stuff out as a military historian, as a former military guy. Let's go to the flow chart. Let's go to the bottom, the summary slide of Iran, Israel. Can you both live in peace? Israel, we don't mind living in peace. Iran, we're going to fucking vaporize all of you. Huh. Is there a middle ground? Yeah. You people cease to exist and we take over your land. Oh, that's okay, great. So again, not going to waste too much more time on this, but it's not wasting time because this is going to happen. I can't tell you when. It's been happening all along, but the last time I gave you this brief, it was at 60. The Israelis were like, they're about a little more than halfway to getting shit for a no-kidding nuke. 84? So if you're Benjamin Netanyahu, do you wait until your intelligence director gives you a brief? This morning, sir, at 0800, they went to 100. Stand by, folks. Again, we get paid. We make money projecting our thoughts forward in space and time. When you project your thoughts forward in space and time on Israel and Iran, what does it go to? Absolute devastating destruction and war. And I feel bad because the Iranian people are a proud people. They're not, I guarantee if you talk to the average Iranian, they're, the little insights we've seen in Iran, the younger people are younger. They got a little internet. They're dressing, remember the whole hijab thing? Some lady died in police custody. They had riots for 3 or 4 months. So I'm sure the average, I'm not sure. I hope the average Iranian is like, I really don't feel like wiping Israel off the face of the planet. I care about home and all sorts of shit. Sound familiar? In We're All Gonna Die news, I mean, dissecting his speech even more. I didn't get a chance to dig. I sat on the couch and dug in last night, man. It's just, it's getting worse. Wiz, that's not news to us. But this speech, doubling down, he ain't going anywhere. The more we double down, the more they double down. And again, folks, not one person, well, there's 4 of us, right? The Pope, Elon Musk, and Wiz. Pretty cool audience. And some random other folks, right? Some people are starting to shift, man. People are really starting to shift. I'm having to beg you all for donations. I'm having to come out of pocket on my own to take people to take veterans to Costa Rica to heal. As Joe Biden's fucking sprinkling money all over Ukraine. I want that to sink in. You see Joe Biden at a VA hospital in the past 2 years? The answer is no. You see Kamala Harris at a VA hospital? 22, 44? I don't care what the answer is, folks. It's more than one. Right? This was a great article. The government saying 17 to 22-ish. Duke? Who do you believe? Duke University and the University of Alabama? Or fucking the VA or Joe Biden? Oh, we weren't counting people who drink themselves to death or overdose. So typical government. Shotgun blast to the head, suicide. This guy drank himself to death. If you look at all of his social media, talk to his family, he's killing himself. So they went out and actually interviewed people. The undercounting of veteran suicides is self-injury mortality. Anyway, whatever. I'm furious with the Ukraine shit. I've had it. And of course, Britain, everybody's fighter jets, and let's start training the pilots and everything like that. Instead of creating more veterans on the other side of the planet who need healing, how about we fucking stop? Again, you guys know where I am. Stop. 24, 48 hours. That gives the Russians more time to regroup. I don't think they really need more time to regroup, man. He's just throwing human meat. Stop. Talk. They were stopping and talking at the beginning until Joe Biden and defense contractors got in Zelensky's ear like, dude, you're Churchill. Do some Vanity Fair shoots, Nobel Peace Prize. You can do this. I can't stand the Democrats who say this is a domino theory. Next is Poland. No, it's not. Because Poland is a NATO member. And he knows, even if he's a fucking nut, that if he invaded or even breathed into a NATO country, it is World War III. Don't give me this bullshit like, well, Poland's next, and then this one, and then that one. No, it's not. Because then I would put my flight suit on and get in a fucking jet and kill Russians for NATO. Because we agreed to do that. Even though Kamala Harris a year ago said Ukraine is in NATO and she's a fucking idiot, then I would fight. Reluctantly, but I would fight. But I've had it with this bullshit. If everybody's NATO, then don't have NATO. I'm over it. Anyway, and of course, China is going to be China. China's going to China. China, North Korea, Russia against us. And Joe Biden goes out of his way on a daily basis to do mental gymnastics, not to really super criticize China. They are our enemy. I posted this in the Max Afterburner group the other day. There goes the S&P. Thank you. How about those treads, baby? Keep rolling. Did Amazon roll over too? Amazon, the one medical deal got announced, or the government's not going to destroy Amazon, but I was about to, damn it, I was going to say sell into the Amazon pop. Shit. But anyway, so there you go. Look at our treads, baby, from yesterday. Hey, shitty sniper. Did you hear me yesterday in the brief? What did Wiz say in the brief yesterday? So, sometimes you just have to listen to me and then not do anything. What did I say yesterday? What did I say the S&P 500 would close at yesterday? 4,000. Who put on a bull put spread slightly above 4,000? Bad snipe. However, exactly, Bob. I put it right, or I'm sorry, it closed at like 39.99, 97. I was off by $3. Sorry. I fucking nailed it. And I still did a sniper. That was a bad shot out of me. However, looking at our Amazon trade and now our treads, I'm not 100% on my snipes, but I'm feeling pretty damn good. Yeah, Richard, I needed to, I did not, well, let me fall on my sword even more. I didn't manage it appropriately. I got swamped and shit and calls, and I'm like, I'll look at that thing later. Failed to manage it properly, but some other people made money on it, which is great. I'm debriefing me, failure of me yesterday. But anyway, I'm just sitting here watching the S&P. I mean, this is a no-brainer, guys. Let me skip some of that. Let's get tactical real quick. This ain't rocket surgery, folks. Our February shit show happened as briefed. Right down to the 50 for now, and we're going to go even lower. Does everybody have their treads or whatever we did yesterday on? The ones that we did over the past months or so are printing money. Folks, I did a free brief 2 weeks ago where I did a 4250, like 4,300 up here, and then like a 4150, 4,100. This thing is up like 15 grand. I looked at this last night. Of course, I didn't do it. It was in a free brief. I'm like, I already got some in. This one is in up 15 grand because the bear put spread is printing money. The bear call spread obviously is at max profit of 5 or something like that. It's like 12 or 13 on the bear put spread. Anyway, what am I getting at? Remember the February. Remember this, the seasonality, folks, the seasonality of February's. Been doing this for over 3 decades, man. And February, almost every one of these, I'm not even going to waste the time to go back in the 30 years and see which February I was wrong. But let's just say 90 to 95% of the time, the Februaries are like this. Okay. Let's finish up the strategic, and then we'll get tactical. I want to stay on time because I got to do some slides and figure out my 1 o'clock brief. Okay, so China getting in line. Now we're using. Did you see the United States again? So whether it's Obama or Biden, whenever these gentlemen use the words red line, I fucking laugh. Barack Hussein Obama. If Assad uses chemical weapons, that's a red line, and we're going to strike. Uses chemical weapons. Well, yeah. Let me ask. I'll punt that decision to Congress. Do you remember that coward, Barack Hussein Obama? Red line. Stop using fucking words if you don't mean them, especially words like red line and I'm going to strike, and then you don't. It's weak. Speak softly and carry a big stick. There's something to be said for reserved strength. Quiet warrior, man. I'm peaceful as fuck right now, but when pushed, it would be insanity. So what do we have today? Today's a popcorn day, a little bit. For what? We get Fed minutes. In 30-some years, folks, I can't remember caring as much as I have about Fed minutes than the past year. Because old me would be like, we already heard the press conference. All the lieutenants already ran out to the microphones. This shit's old. Well, guess what? In the past year or so, the minutes have had nuggets in it. Like, holy shit, they're a lot more hawkish than they sounded, right? So it's really interesting to see how dated stuff from the Fed. It's almost like a glass of water in the desert. The market jumps on these Fed minutes, at least for today, right? At least for this afternoon when they come out and all the algo firms. My buddy who owns one, I don't think he's been in his firm in a fucking decade. The thing just reads shit and fires immediately and then gets out of stuff, which is pretty cool. So we get some GDP tomorrow. Remember, advanced, preliminary, and final. So advanced is usually the one that, has the biggest impact since it's first. And then Friday, some personal spending, income. You get some PCE, which is some inflation stuff, new home sales, inflation expectations. This one has been a big one. This one is another one that's kind of been moving markets. But look at that. And again, ladies and gentlemen, you can hate Donald Trump as much as you want. Joe Biden took office where? There's inflation, folks. Here's Donald Trump. The Putin price tag, supply chain issues, COVID. Okay, not your insane spending. The Deficit Reduction Act, with the independent OMB says it, and the Congressional Budget Office says what? It doesn't reduce the deficit. And if maybe on some weird chance it does, it's like 20 years out in the future. Oh, so the government, again, naming something the exact opposite of what it is. The Affordable Care Act is a disgrace. The Inflation Reduction Act is a disgrace. A Schedule I drug, a high risk of addiction, and no therapeutic use. That's a cigarette. Yeah, but that's legal because of the tobacco lobby. And alcohol. Iboga. It ain't addictive, man, and it changed and saved my life. That's a felony. Oh. You get it? So, speaking of Fed, one of them was on this morning on CNBC. Bullard. Bullocks. If you're a Brit, you know what Bullocks is. Bullard. Bullocks. Oh, yeah, Gaddafi, Reagan. There was a young Army, 19-year-old or whatever, Army private or whatever, in a discotheque in Berlin that got bombed. Wasn't he killed? Was he wounded? No, he was killed. I think there was one U.S. soldier killed in like a bombing in a disco in Berlin, maybe. A month later, Mr. President, we've concluded that Libyan agents did that. Okay, that's great. Bomb the fuck out of Libya and go after Gaddafi. You didn't hear from one of my commanding officers at the Hunters shot down a Libyan MiG-23. Yeah, it was a MiG-23. He was in one of the Tomcats that shot it down. You didn't hear from Gaddafi for 30 or 40 years. When's the last time you heard from Gaddafi? Under Obama and Clinton. But then, anyway, Bullard. markets have overpriced a recession. Whoa. And then he said what? Folks are too pessimistic about the economy. James Bullard said what? He went Goldilocks this morning. We absolutely can have a soft landing with a strong jobs market and and tame inflation. It's like he's out of out of central casting from the Fed. You know, he could not have been more hawk lamb today. But what happened yesterday? Oh yeah. Well, no, we had some PMI. Where's my yesterday? Here you go, ladies and gentlemen. Who predicted this was going to happen? Before you type whiz, you don't have to type whiz because I'm going to take a victory lap. What did I tell you a year ago or so? If you can't hit the ball over the net, lower the net. Or in this case, raise it. Ladies and gentlemen, we nailed it a year ago. Again, I was first. I didn't hear any of the smart money on CNBC or Fox Business or Bloomberg. I never saw this anywhere in print, except for a couple months ago. You started to hear this, didn't you? I told you a year ago. I said the Fed will raise their target rate. Raging inflation, we're going to raise it so we can stop and people will continue to burn to death. But politically, the Fed's not political. Politically, they will say, what? Right behind me on the USS Abraham Lincoln, mission accomplished. Victory lap from Wiz complete. Unbelievable, folks. Okay. So, yeah. Trust me, I did not see this, so I was in front of Zero Hedge or whoever was writing this. So here we go, folks. They are going to raise their target. There's a lot of reading in here, but I gave you, this is a duh moment. This is where you are in this country, folks. Democrats are racing around school district to school district to do away with what? Honors classes or AP courses. It's not equitable. So kids that are really smart, who we can nurture to maybe be really smart and take care of the world, we're gonna dumb them down. Yes. Let's not try and lift everybody up. We're going to bring others down. Yes. Equity, yes. Saw on TikTok the other day a video of a school in China. Did you see that video going around? It's about 30 kids, 6, 7 years old, doing what? Cleaning and stripping weapons. That's what's on Chinese TikTok. As the Chinese are pushing "you're too fat" videos on people like my daughter. Brilliant. Fucking brilliant. And we eat it up. So there's your government, folks. Here's a little hopium that they're going to blow in your face. No, I've told you for months and months and months, inflation is sticky. It's hanging up here. You haven't seen too many press conferences about inflation, have you? With Kamala or Joe or Jean-Claude Van Damme. Because people have had it. And inflation's great. Everything's awesome. I can't buy fucking eggs. I'm still spending $300 to go into the grocery store for nothing. Every time you fill up your gas tank, you're like, oh my God. I got $5 to put back in my pocket this week. Unbelievable, folks. All right, Amazon. Excuse me. Amazon achieves closing of one medical deal, officially entering the doctor clinic business. Whew. 10 years ago, what did I tell you, man? Amazon Pharma, Amazon Medical, Amazon everything. So Uncle Sam backed out of the way of this the other day. Okay. This is a big deal. So we might actually, I think it just kind of sold off with the overall market. We might look to maybe leg into an iron condor. Yep, see, you should have looked at an iron condor already. Let's look at legging into an iron condor down here, maybe the 94, 93. How many contracts do we have? Start mapping that out because I'm going to be mumbling through stuff. And I want to stay on time. I have 5 minutes left. How many contracts? Where's positions? 75. Look at like a 90. Well, let me just do it. This will be a tight one, but you don't hold this to expiration. You dogfight in it. I like this one. Sell 75, Feb 24, 94 puts. Buy the 93s, 24 cents. The more conservative one has no premium in it. The 93.92. If you're super conservative, it's 93.92. This will be a tight iron condor because I have the 96.97. Okay. Let's see hold on. Let me close that real quick. What's the current at the money straddle is about just under $3. Let's see if I got that right. Just under $3. 93. So the 94.93 would be aggressive for a bull put spread, but you got to manage these. These aren't set it and forget it's. Now that Amazon moved on that deal, I gotta shuck and jive here. You could put a repair trade in. You could sell another bear call spread up there, or let me do this one since it's SPX is starting to run away from me here. Let me grab screenshots of this. I'm going to try and get 24 cents, but SPX is running up to 4,000. Look at the S&P 500. So the magnet right now is 4,000. So we went through it. We're kind of back up to it. So now it's decision point. We're either going to fail there. Amazon 222. $57 to make 18. So I'm not risking 57 to make 18. What am I risking? I already have the bear call spread on. So I guarantee you, if I get filled on this, I'll be risking maybe $3,500 total to potentially make about $3,200. Love legging in iron condors when stuff like this happens. Okay, this is how we do it. And there goes a little bit of a turn. All right. Legging into an iron condor Amazon from what we did yesterday. Yeah, the school thing is just, it's heartbreaking. Thank God Jack's graduating this year. Keely, it hasn't come to Boca yet. Boca parents would freak the fuck out. If your kid's gifted, but I get it, right? You know, if it's minorities or whatever, that's a little offensive, right? It's kind of a Joe Biden with voting, right? Well, African Americans aren't smart enough to get on the internet to get like an ID to vote. What did you just say? Probably one of the most racist things I've ever heard, but you can get away with it? Somehow minorities aren't smart enough to get an ID to vote? How? What? Imagine if like a Trump said that. They'd literally impeach the guy for the 90th time. But I get it. They're like, well, you know, the folks that aren't in honors classes feel like shit. I get that. Man, when I was in grade school and there were smarter kids in honors classes, it kind of really did make me feel like shit because I'm like, I know me. I'm not that freaking smart. I try my best and I do okay. But anybody whose feelings aren't getting hurt right now, they're the people that run the country, not the other people. There's the turn. It's well, and it's reverse discrimination. All right, so filled on the Iron Condor. Let's go see if I was semi right. What is the max potential loss in the Iron Condor? Boom! Look at me. What did I say? $3,500. I was guessing $1 or $125 off. Man, I wasn't even close with the max profit. I said 33. I should have remembered, though, this is a tight Iron Condor. I mean, the odds of, there's your football trade now. Amazon's got to finish between 94 and 96. It's kind of a tight Iron Condor, okay? Let me grab a screenshot of this just so I can kind of put it on the trade page. Isn't that cool, though? If you're new to Iron Condors, man, that's what it does. It offsets the risk of just a single trade. You can't lose on both of these trades. Only one of them could potentially get its ass kicked. Amazon Iron Condor 222. All right, let me grab the metrics. Isn't that cool? I love Iron Condors. But again, manage, baby. Don't sit, manage. You got to, especially in a tight one. So SPX failed at 4,000. That would have been a sniper shot, but I'm focusing on Amazon, and I have to get going for my slides. Amazon Iron Condor. Perfect. All right. So there is the Iron Condor. We got a good looking, I'm liking month to date, man. Month to date, we had a sniper, or not a sniper. We had those earning trade. Whatever happened to Meta? We did that post earnings hang up trades. I haven't even looked at it since. Look at that. What did I tell you? I'm glad I came back to this. Filled half the gap. Look at that gap. And what do I say? If it touches half the gap and bounces, it'll be bullish. Get ready. Here's a free trade. Get ready for this one. Well, it kind of is right now. It looks like it's breaking half the gap with airspeed. That's a bear call spread on Meta right there. I haven't been looking at it in a while. I hate when people do this, but I'm doing it. When I look at a chart without knowing a shitload of stuff, and people, they invite me these things like, we're just going to throw charts up and place trades. I'm like, are you people dumb? I'm not dumb. We know that there was earnings back here, and I know it. It's a gap. It filled the gap, and now it's the decision point. If it bounces strong, bullish, but this doesn't look good. And there goes SPX. Burn, baby, burn. Bob, you could do both. You could do a bear call spread up here and a bear put spread. Good job, Tony. Yeah, buy some puts on. That's an ugly looking chart. It's given up all the earnings gains, baby. There's a free trade for you. Get bearish on Meta. I might, shameless plug, send out this text and email alert, but in the background, put that trade over where? In the Max Afterburner, which is the Lifetime Group, or over here in the Hunters. How do you find out how to join those? You need to join me at 1 o'clock, and there's the link. Right there. Yeah, no, I was surprised that SPX stopped it. Look at this, folks. There, what's my target on Meta? Look at where we gapped up from, man. This is a no-brainer. That is in Stupidville. My target on Meta is a pullback to 150, the 200-day. This is a double vertical candidate. But since I'm 3 minutes over my time, I'm going to place maybe that double vertical in the Lifetime or the Hunters. This is why I started them. The COVID crash. Dude, don't end the brief. We're all going to die. What are you doing after these trade briefs? I'm sitting here and trading. Can we all do that together? Dear attorneys, yes, you can start an investment club. Done. So we have investment clubs. And I told you guys a month ago, I'm still making a couple edits, that I got a clean bill of health by the FTC and SEC guys. They were stunned. I'm like, well, it's so funny when you look at some of the shit that, well, you guys see these emails, that some of the other shit out there. But anyway, no, Tony, I don't think that blue check thing, I mean, there might be a little bit of a bounce on the we're going to do the Elon Musk. Isn't it funny? All these limousine liberals have been ripping Elon Musk apart, and now they're copying him, right? I love seeing this stuff. Elon Musk this, I'm not paying him $8 a month. Meta, we're going to be rolling out a blue check feature for $11 a month. Oh, really? Okay. Good for you. All right, cool. You bet, Charles. All right, join me at 1 o'clock. We're going to talk a little bit of some plant. Oh, read this before you go, or before the brief. This is So the Reit that I am in, the healing Reit, with Cody, Daniel, Andrew, a couple other big heavies. So listen to me. Top secret clearance, NDAs, not going to break them. Here's what I can say. Read this article and use your brain. Are there looking at the healing? So, ladies and gentlemen, when, not if, when MDMA is legal for, say it with me, therapeutic use in the next year, thank you, Maps and Rick Doblin, where are you going to do it? And who is going to do it? What are the two biggest things with psychedelic assisted therapy? Even MDMA is not technically, set and setting. Are you going to your doctor's office with the 1972 National Geographics and white walls? No. The psychedelic space in the United States is a $1 trillion over 10-year space. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Take a look at some public REITs. We talked about this before I left. I'm talking about it again now. Read this article, ladies and gentlemen. You ain't doing MDMA in your doctor's office. And somebody is going to capitalize on this. You need to think. This is why we're here, man. Isn't this awesome? God takes care of fools, drunks, and sailors. Okay? Steve, good for you. Well, I can say that. So this REIT, Daniel, Cody, and the other guy who's the COO, looking to raise money. So Steve said he filled out an online form for info and no response yet. I don't know if they're opening it up to, look at this. The goal is to have 87 million under management in a year, 12 months, 500 million in 3 years. Please do me a favor. Look at this. There are estimated to be 16,000 new clinics for MDMA in 8 years. This isn't counting ketamine and when, not if, psilocybin. Folks, this is the future of healthcare. You're not going to some cold, sterile doctor's office for a 6 to 8 hour psilocybin journey, 4-hour MDMA. It's going to be a beautiful center and wood and flowing water and music. This is the future. There's no turning back from this, period. I love Awaken Your Soul. I'd love to go back to Costa Rica just because it was beautiful. But Wiz is going to be healing Americans in America going forward. Period. End of story. Actually, beginning of story, okay? So wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Read this article, and then do your own driving around in the real estate space, folks. This is hot. This isn't me at the water cooler going, I got a great hot stock tip. This is no shit. I'm in it. My sister, who was here a month ago with my nephew, who runs Dune Capital, was blown away. She's like, holy shit, this space. Because they're in mainly hotels and resorts and big. She's like, So when my sister, Kia, who was selected as the Woman of the Year for New York City a couple years ago, that's where Corzine was, Paulson I saw all those dudes. Secretary of Treasury, what's his name? when she looks at it and goes, holy shit, didn't even consider any of this and looked at the numbers of what the space could be, she's a hell of a lot smarter than I am. So there's some free accelerated retirement trades. Steve Mnuchin, thank you. Yeah, exactly. Did you see them last week, Christina? Cody and Daniel were ringing the closing bell on the NASDAQ. Closing bell on the NASDAQ, man. So awesome. All right, guys, I got to go. I'll see if you're in Lifetime or you're already in the Hunters. You really don't have to attend. I mean, I'll talk a little Costa Rica stuff, but I'm going to wait for a podcast to go super on that. But a lot of people have been dying to know. I'll give you a quick how it goes on Costa Rica because I'm still, the other night I went to go meditate at like 4 or 5. I woke up at 10. I didn't even know where I was. I'm like, oh my God, is it morning? Is it night? So I'm still in it, which is great. There's so much good in this world. There's so much. I'm just so excited. You can't get over this. So May, and I'm going to be asking. I need your help, man, because we got a May retreat coming up, and we're doing Austin, man. Heroic Path to Light. Heal Americans in America. What a concept. Heroic Path to Light is an entheogenic church. You're using these medicines for spiritual purposes, completely allowed. Started this country on that type of shit. So I'm going to need your help, but I know you all have, you guys, I love when I put up the bat signal, and I love when I put up the bat signal and y'all respond. That's why this is a great squadron. That's why the Lifetime group is just absolutely incredible. I'm blessed. We're blessed. We're all blessed. All right, guys, I'll see you. If you want to come, great. If not, I'll see you tomorrow for AR. There's the link one more time to register for the brief at 1 o'clock. All right, let me text this alert out. Amazon, Iron Condor, and Meta. Pound that baby. Or you could wait. You could wait a little bit to see if we break. But, I mean, what I tell you yesterday, the trend is your friend, man. So thanks, Graham. She's sitting out back by the pool in the sun. Love my mom. After we do the brief this afternoon, I'm going to take her to the beach and spend some time with my mama. All right, guys, have a great rest of your day. God bless. I'll see you at 1 o'clock if you want to come. If not, I'll see you tomorrow. Fights on. See ya.